Following the attack on the king's silos, Jonathan confronts his father about Ahinoam's exile and his attempt to trick David. Saul rejects Jonathan's claim, maintaining that David must demonstrate his deservingness of the family. For his side, Jonathan wonders if David is deserving of the house of Saul. Later, Saul senses Abner's distress as he approves numerous projects across the kingdom. Concerned about Saul's choice to reject Ahinoam in favor of a concubine, Abner assures Saul that he has complete faith in him and exhorts him to remember who he was rather than gain the world and lose himself. Sarah, in the meantime, discovers Jonathan training and discloses her pregnancy. Sarah wonders if Jonathan's ideal of teaching his son or daughter to ride while leading a tranquil life in a small community is indeed achievable. The two decide to keep it a secret for the time being, even though Jonathan is certain that David can take over peacefully. Attending the wedding, Jonathan and Sarah watch David and Michal with pleasure and happiness. They are there when Dinah's body is discovered following the wedding. But Jonathan's initial suspicions are allayed when Merab makes up the story that her friend was thinking of taking her own life. House of David Season 2 Episode 7. Michal, Merab, and Dinah. When Michal discovers Merab tidying up the mess Saul created when taking Ahinoam out of the palace, he attempts to sympathize and wonders what's going on with the family. Before departing, however, Merab declines to participate and questions whether they are indeed a family. As the wedding approaches, Michal and David are taken to the pool of Mai Tahara, the waters of purity, where they are ceremoniously submerged 3 times while singing a song based on Hosea and thanking God for sanctifying them. David finds Michal still drying after the ceremony and tells her that he is sorry about what happened to her mother. Michal just insists on getting all of David, but David dreams of creating their own family and future, putting aside his parents' lies, treachery, violence, and ambition. An ominous foreshadowing 1 Samuel. Merab takes Dinah for a hunt in the countryside since she can't bear to be around the wedding preparations. Dinah confesses that, despite not being in love with Eshbaal, she has actually grown interested by him. Dinah spots Doeg with the eye patch man, who killed her father in episode 3 after hearing a sound. Dinah intercepts a messenger pigeon that Doeg dispatches and rushes back to the palace after sending Merab back. Michal is second-guessing her wedding jewels back in Gibeah, a chore that the humble Sarah is ill-prepared to assist with. Luckily, Merab shows up in time to give Michal the ring that Ahinoam gave her as a token of her presence and to swap out a cumbersome necklace for something more refined. Merab pledges to support Michal while Ahinoam is away. They complete the preparations together. Michal's arrival at the wedding is appropriately lovely and joyful. David approaches Saul and asks for Michal while pledging allegiance to God and the realm. Saul then blesses their union. 1 Samuel 25:44 and 2 Samuel 6:20-23 are ominously foreshadowed by David's vow that she shall be his wife forever. Merab sees Eshbaal killing Dinah on the palace wall that evening. She grudgingly consents to conceal the murder by saying that Dinah had been thinking about suicide because she can't bear to part from her favorite brother. David and Michal are then transported to their new residence by procession. Later, when they are lying in bed, Abner calls David to Saul by knocking on the door. David grabs his lyre and follows Abner, who sidesteps inquiries concerning Saul's summons. The door of Saul's chamber closes menacingly behind David as he walks in, and he is confronted by a fully armed Saul. Despite David's professions of allegiance, Saul is enraged and accuses him of betraying him. At last, Saul asks David directly if Samuel picked him. Saul attacks after David denies this and responds that God chose him. Saul thanks Jesse for offering David when he gets to Gibeah for the wedding, but Jesse makes it very plain that David made the choice and not him. Saul is suspicious and wonders if Jesse knew Samuel, but Jesse maintains that he respected Samuel but did not know him personally. Saul argues that he should give the gift when Jesse offers him a ring as a mohar marriage price, but Jesse declines to be obligated to the kingdom. Eliab hurries his father away to the festivities as he senses tension rising. The union of David and Michal brings happiness to even the ordinarily solemn Eliab and Jesse. Nevertheless, Jesse is prepared to leave practically immediately after the ceremony is over. Even though he is happy of David, he still struggles with the route he is pursuing and never would have predicted it. Jesse challenges David to think about how he will be different from Saul and exhorts him to prioritize God and avoid being corrupted by the palace. They leave after David gives him and Ava one final embrace. Following Adriel's threats, David locates Eliab and attempts to speak with him about his involvement in the Judah family's death. Eliab declines, saying there is nothing to discuss, and advising David to enjoy his wedding.